I run this whole company. If I come into the office and I have a big migraine, nobody knows I have a migraine because I can't run a whole office with a down emotional tone. And it really is a point of respect, communication, granting of beingness. When you have another person with you and you're granting beingness, what that means is their beingness is who they are. It's husband, wife, partner, employee, and you're actually putting it there, the affinity that you have for there, that they have their own position in space too. You put somebody on the post, you actually put it there that they're gonna win on that post. And if you grant that beingness, that they're gonna succeed, that's one of the greatest things that you can give to somebody. I remember one time I had a coworker of mine, or actually he was a boss, an old boss of mine, and he came up to me and I was not feeling like I was doing that good. We had an argument because I hadn't done that good on something. But then he told me, "You are good at this job. You messed up, but you are good at this job. You could do good at this job." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like 18 and I felt I could do this job. And it was such a big deal to me that someone could recognize that I was successful at this and I was capable. It is so amazing, the power of that, the power of giving someone the beingness that they can do well, that they can succeed, that they can be their own person, have their own realizations and initiative and create. It's so huge. And so when you do that with a partner, and since like we could talk about this forever because we have to deal with it all the time, but I've helped a lot of clients that just learning how to acknowledge their partner. That is literally the most amazing thing. Like I had a couple on Zoom a couple weeks ago and they were having a nice spat in front of me. And it was interesting because what I saw, the biggest problem was that they were not acknowledging each other. And they were fighting over a business problem, right? One was not wearing the hat the other one felt that they should be wearing. And when the person was originating why they were running into trouble, it was just a barrage of communication about it. Instead of, wow, I got that. I understand.
And acknowledgement is such a big concept. It's such a simple thing, but it's such a big concept that we're just losing in modern society. I listened to a podcast this morning on the way into work, and just communication without any acknowledgement there. But an acknowledgement means I heard what you said, I got it. It doesn't even necessarily mean you have to agree.
You don't have to agree. No, if someone goes like, I couldn't make it to, like if an employee comes to me saying, I couldn't make it to work because my dog barked at me on the way out. Like, I'm never gonna agree with that. And I'm maybe even gonna let the person go at some point if that keeps happening. But I can acknowledge them. I heard you.
Right.
Okay. And if you have an upset with somebody, especially your spouse at work, they love you. You love them. If they have a valid reason for feeling like they can't do something right, it's not real to you because you could easily do that job. If you can acknowledge them and go like, wow, it sucks, that's so hard. Let me see if I can help you figure that out. Usually they want to do well. It's not, especially if it's your spouse, they're also an owner of this business. They have like long-term investment in how it succeeds. So they want it to do well. And if you can at least acknowledge like, oh my God, okay, so let me help you figure this out. That alone will go like, oh, thank you.
And then once you get that, now you're into solving. Rather than when you get combative, when you start to get antagonistic toward each other, nothing solves when you get to antagonistic. Nothing solves. You have to bring the communication up above antagonism. And you have to bring it to a point where you're ready and willing to resolve things. And when you can do that and the communication, it just goes that much better that way.
Yeah, and that's where we teach the emotional tone scale from Mr. Hubbard and going through how to be able to match someone's tone level and to raise their tone level by going a little bit above their emotional tone and how you operate with your spouse in the office, out of the office, how do you operate with employees? Well, if you have a huge migraine, how do you feel and how do you react? And most people are like, oh, poorly. But if I run this whole company, if I come into the office and I have a big migraine, nobody knows I have a migraine. Because I can't run a whole office with a down emotional tone. How is everyone gonna start the day all worried about my migraine or just seeing me snip at everyone and snap at them and yell at them for whatever reason? So I put on a smiley face and I pretend like I do not have a migraine and that the world is happy and great and everyone's gonna have the best day ever. And then, yes, maybe I'll cry in the corner after, but I communicate and I run a team on a high emotional tone.
Because your employees are looking for leadership. They're looking for confidence. They're looking for direction. They're looking for that. And if your direction is taking them into a less survival path, obviously, if they're good people, they don't want to go down that path. So if your direction is taking them into a more survival, more happy, more prosperous sort of a path, then absolutely they're going to follow along with you.